It's hockey season. It's hockey season. Give me a reason. Give me a reason. It's hockey season. Look, there are hockey lovers all over the planet who know what I'm getting at. Like, so yes, I am an ice hockey fan. I have been an ice hockey fan since I was at least 8 years old. I am 53 years old. Have some respect for that. Also, have some respect for the fact that to be a good ice hockey player, you don't really need a penis, and there are plenty of people know that. Okay, but females have their own pro league now. So, hey, what's up, drunk? I'm hoping I'm hoping that it's not all choppy like it was, but right now I don't have any control. Thank you for the like. I don't have any control of that because we're kind of using an extender from another neighbor. So until the one next door gets set up, it's kind of going to be touch and go with the internet. But I appreciate you letting me know that. Hello, it's nice to see you. It's going to be between choppy and clear, but yeah, okay. Yeah, that's good. I hope that like when it replays, it is a little better. I did check one. Anyway, so yeah, I know it'll get better. My I well me have I been? Oh, you don't want to know. So I probably have a hiatal hernia. We got serious. Yeah, how have you been? What have you been doing besides being drunk? I get hockey drunk, like not alcohol, but I get hockey drunk sometimes. Right when there's like some kind of situation, like well, I know the Jets did it last season during the playoffs, but then another team did it like when you think you're in the third period and it doesn't look like your team is gonna pull it out, and then they do at the last minute. It was like 1 second left, so then another team did it. I've been alive trying to stop track. That's good. One day at a time, man. You know what I'm saying? That's good. Yes, I have been. I still to this very day struggle with not smoking cigarettes sometimes. So I am back on the nicotine patch. I root for the Jets because of you, Blues. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. The Blues. I mean, I love ice hockey, so I love all the teams except for the one that's in Washington D.C. I grew up being a fan of that franchise, and I got to the point where it's just like I don't what's wrong with you, but I don't care anymore. Again, like the most entitled, annoying group of fans I've run across, and I've actually gone to other ice hockey arenas wearing another team's colors, and those people were cooler with me than exactly. Exactly. I call them the ice hockey franchise. The social club is that's right. They're a social club. So yeah, I don't care about them ever. I will root for any team that is playing against them. But yeah, I mean, I like all the teams and I pay attention. So there's times when I can sort of respect the Blues too, because sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes a team just knows how to play. So, well, go Blues too. But when it comes to the playoffs, I mean, I'm just stay with the Jets. Um, yes, exactly, right, exactly. And I mean, I do know what one of the issues with that club is, but yeah, exactly. I mean, they don't have a name, so good thinking. I agree. But yeah, I'm actually happy it's hockey season. So if you're an ice hockey fan, especially a National Hockey League ice hockey fan, we are. Exactly. I agree. I agree. And I kind of felt for Ovechkin a little bit because he originally like he signed a 13 year with them, and that kind of like locked him in. And trying to get out of that would be difficult. So, but if you pay attention, like Ovi looks like he's like 50 something. like Ovi turned into an old man trying to get that done. So, yeah. Anyway, I I know that all hockey fans during the hockey season, I mean, we all kind of understand copacetically if if you're only a hockey fan. I mean, I'm a baseball fan. I'm a Jays fan, and I live in Baltimore, and I grew up 20 minutes away from the Ripken dynasty. But I'm still a Jays fan, so go Jays too. That was, they're in, like wow. So I'm on the side rooting for the Jays too. But hockey season is like it's like a whole different kind of like level of being sometimes when hockey is your favorite sport. And if you really dig the NHL, I'll watch any ice hockey game. I never get bored. I don't care if it's Pee Wee. I don't care if it's women's. I don't care if it's the European League. If I get a chance, I don't care. I will take the time. I never get bored. I never get bored. And that's one thing that I know sometimes fans, and I've been trying to kind of get to know for the last 5, 6 years on and off, trying to get to know kind of all the media and some of the fans that are up there in Winnipeg. Some are not in Winnipeg. Some are like me. I am in Maryland. There's some in California. I know there's one over in Europe, and they get involved with some of the conversation. The one thing about the social media that I kind of like is that when some of these there's the check-in, the Jets have the game day check-in, and it's got Sarah and Jamie, and the fans are allowed, like they have the chat like appear, and so fans can interact, and that I like because one, that's a way for you to kind of get to know some of the fandom. And it's also a way to kind of discuss and learn more about the team. So I appreciate that. And every single chance I get, I try to be on the chat and listen to Sarah and Jamie. It is difficult for me. The one thing in the United States, I'm just going to say this out loud. When I can't, I mean, I know some Canadians, and had some discussions about like socialized healthcare, and there's still issues like waiting for. There's still some things, but like in the U.S., even if you have insurance, there's tons of stuff that insurance doesn't cover, and even if you have the best insurance, there's still things that insurance doesn't cover. So because I have been dealing with health issues for years, I pretty much became poor very, very quickly. And I was the only one contributing to my own income. And now I have to be on disability, and it's not a lot of money at all. So my ability to be all up in the ice hockey started becoming harder and harder. And I hit a wall of depression at one point because I didn't even have cable TV. I didn't even have internet. So right now I'm on what's called LifeLink. So in the US, for people who don't know, LifeLink is for people who are just in severe poverty. Okay. And you get minutes. Okay. You get minutes for your phone, but you only get 2 gigs data. So me trying to listen to some of the stuff when I'm not at home using if I can't like bounce off somebody, if I can't find a public hotspot, I'm stuck. I mean, yesterday, a little bit of anxiety because it's like, oh, check in, I got it right, and then Winnipeg Sports Talk. So far, I've gotten to kind of know Sarah and Jamie, and they do the check in, and then there's the Winnipeg Sports Talk, and they, will talk about and what's the other one? Connor and Liz. So I'm kind of getting to know all of that because the things that come out from the club off the website, I'm a little more familiar with. So I've actually been taking the time to watch every single video that is on the Winnipeg Jets website. See, I love hockey to the point of complete insane nerd, to the point where people are like, yeah, like how do you know about this? I'm like, I pay attention, I listen, I read, I make comments sometimes. But I have been a fan of the Jets for a while. I just decided on the Jets. I was very happy for the Jets when, Winnipeg, when they got a team back, even though it wasn't the original Jets. Now the original Jets situation. And I do agree that, chasing Hacks, like, I understand, even though technically not the same two clubs, still Jets 1.0, they call it. I do agree that they should consider these things, but I'm still happy for Shifes and other kind of things. And to say the game last night, the Jets lost 3-zip, and the one thing is that I had heard about the Kraken's goalie. I know he came up where he came from as a prospect. So I knew a bit more about the goalie, and I knew that he was feeling hot, and his confidence, self-esteem, everything had been boosted. So I knew he was gonna be a serious wall. So that I knew, and so he did. He got a shutout. But here's the thing: that at least the Jets fans, we should all understand that sometimes it's like when the whole team, at least if the whole team is trying to work together, if one guy doesn't seem to be producing or whatever, it's never up to that guy entirely. You can say this guy struggled. Well, maybe he didn't, because the other team sometimes does their homework. The other team sometimes knows, okay, well, but the good thing, if you're paying attention, the good thing is, okay, let's just say our first and second line, and a couple of the defensemen who sometimes score. And by the way, Stan the man, Lane Stanley's already beaten his goal scoring record already. And, it may have taken him a little bit of time, but you have to think, in previous seasons, he may not have been given minutes. In previous seasons, he may not have, gotten in a groove with a defensive parent. So sometimes I'm not as critical of certain players. But I mean, I understand where it comes from. It's just, if a team is closing the lanes based on your first two lines, okay, and your regular goal scorers, yeah, they're spending all their time and their energy concentrating on that. Okay, that's why Pion got shots. He got shots. He was taking shots. Those are the kind of goals that can happen when another opposing team, is spending all their time trying to shut down the first two lines. Okay? So it's good that we have a few defensemen that take shots. It's good that we have a few on the third and fourth line who can take shots. So sometimes when a team is spending all their time and resources, right, working on trying to shut down your normal goal scorers, you got to think there's still some positives there, because yeah, they're probably spending less time trying to stop defensemen or third and fourth liners. Okay, so sometimes you can take advantage of that. Now here is the thing: it's only a 60-minute game. When regular regulation time. So sometimes in a single game, trying to like flip that and get that, it definitely can be that the team just can't However, they learned and adjusted. So I never expect. I mean, it is never an expectation that an NHL team is going to win every game. That's silly. Okay, that should not ever. I mean, don't we wish like that would be 2 points in regulation is the ideal situation. But, you can't always hit that. You can't always do that. There's another team that's a factor. There's your own team. I mean, there are times when yeah. Well, see, this is the thing is that they seem. I bet you though that though they're really extra tired at this point. They had a 6 game route, and then yeah, they had to. But their goalie, on the other hand, right, had been pumped up pretty, yeah, pretty good, and his confidence level was way up. And like today, and I heard some other things, the play-by-play online radio, which I'm getting used to. Um, I was listening to it like I was listening to it on and off, and I was reading, so I've just been kind of like vibing in with the team, and I wasn't talking too much about the Jets for a few years. One, I got medical conditions, and I constantly go to doctors, and then get a new diagnosis. Why all this stuff is going on? Because it's called functional neurological disorder, and it's like Parkinson's and certain